In this op-ed, we're going to be touching on traveling brothers, indifference, and the collective black male image. Now, before I begin today's editorial, I just want to apologize for my long absence. As always, I've been busy with offline activities. But since the coronavirus put a slowdown to a few professional things that I'm involved with, I decided that what better way to occupy my time than to make more editorials. So here I am. Not too long ago, I heard about the Miko Worldwide controversy. I watched Solo TV 84's live stream about it. I heard Reg, the Bad Guys News report about it, where he was trying to pin or connect Miko Worldwide with the SYSBM movement. And I also see that Taz Exclusives weighed in on it as well, although I didn't get around to watching that video. Now, in the Solo TV 84 live stream, Super Sly 75's view on this was he felt that the Traveling Brothers or the Passport Brothers or SYSBM should get ahead of this story and quickly denounce him. He also felt that other brothers that do travel abroad and whatnot should make videos denouncing him and distance himself from him. And when I heard some other brothers that do travel or advocate for traveling, they claim that they don't know who Miko Worldwide is. They didn't hear of him until this news story broke out. And I also caught a glimpse of Roll the Tape. Shout out to Rich. And Roll the Tape decided to do a kind gesture. He raised some money and donated to the family that Miko Worldwide allegedly had caused harm to. Now, let me go back a little bit on Miko Worldwide. He did like a He's accused of child molestation charge in Georgia. He fled Georgia, went to Colombia, was apprehended over there, and is currently sitting in a Medellin jail cell awaiting extradition. But in lieu of the ongoing global crisis, it seems like Miko Worldwide is going to be an extended guest over in Colombia. So I also listened to some the subsequent views on other brothers who regularly travel and have big platforms that show their trips abroad and everything in different places. And with the exception of Roll the Tape, I noticed that there's a lot of apathy there. And pretty much, I'm a little bit disturbed by it. A little bit disturbed, and I'm a little bit puzzled. I know in a way because a lot of these brothers, although they don't really do videos together, some of them just do their own thing. They travel their own way and go to wherever. Some of them solo, some of them with friends, some of them with a significant other. But it just was baffling that you just seen this apathy. Now I know Miko Worldwide doesn't have anything to do with any of these traveling black men, passport brothers, or SYSBM people or whatever. I understand that, but here's the deal with all this. and I'm going to touch on Super Slide 75's point of view. As far as getting ahead of the story, I don't really think that, I understand that, he was implied to be associated with certain movements and certain lifestyles and whatnot, but to expect maybe 5 or 6 people in the traveling community to carry the burden of one person who is doing foul stuff overseas is way too much. And plus, there's really no evidence to connect him with anybody that's SYSBM, at least in the public sense. Now, maybe Miko Worldwide could have been corresponding with someone behind the scenes or something, but as far as any facts such as video evidence, such as did he appear on any panels with this person? Was he in this person's comment section? Was that person in his comment section? To my knowledge, there's no evidence of that. So to throw around a smoking gun is just ridiculous. Now, to get to the traveling brothers, I understand that some of these brothers want to see things from an individual aspect. I understand that some of these brothers don't really respond to things like this unless it directly affects them. I understand that their thought is that, one bad person isn't going to be the sum total of an entire group. I get that. But you know something? There's some brothers that don't travel, that may just stay locally in their own area, that may have the same sentiment when it comes to racial profiling. Well, why should I care about this brother that was hurt by these cops? That was him. That's not me. I obey the law, or I do this, I do that. Okay, cool. You do all those things. But guess what? Some people aren't going to really see you as an individual. They may just see you and paint us as a group. Now, I'm not sure what the range or what the influence of YouTube videos are overseas. And I get that a lot of these brothers are going to do their thing regardless of what Miko Worldwide is accused of doing. But here's the thing to consider, traveling brothers, passport brothers, or SYSBM, or whatever flag that you fly under as far as traveling. Issues like this shouldn't just be brushed off lightly, shouldn't just be ignored or overlooked. When someone brings up an issue like this, I'm not saying that you should be a Miko Worldwide apologist. I'm not saying you should defend him, because pedophilia is a very deplorable and despicable act, and people that engage in such acts should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. However, once you have people, especially folks of your hue, that are accused of that, you may want to put that information in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, in case that materializes at some point in the future. Now, I know with a traveler like I Am Marwa, he touches on a little bit of prejudice in some of his videos. And so far, none of the accusations that Miko Worldwide is going through has came up with him. But I just think it's important that you keep these things in the back of your head as a point of reference, just in case a situation like, in case that's brought up in the future, because you really don't know. And I'm not saying this to just be paranoid or overly cautious, but it's always good when you go to different places that are outside of your area code, your zip code, to be on your P's and Q's. And I'm sure you guys are already on your P's and Q's already because you're in foreign soil. You're in a land where, they speak a different language than you and practice different customs and culture than you do. So you want to be on your P's and Q's about that. But when I think of the apathy as far as certain things go when it pertains to black men, I'm reminded of the Bakari Henderson situation that happened roughly about 3 years ago. And you had like two different reactions. You had people from the pro black community saying that, well, you know something? Bakari Henderson should have been hanging around with those white folks. He should have went to Africa. He should have went to the Caribbean. He would still be alive today. Then you have some brothers that travel and do the passport thing very heavy and saying, well, that was an isolated incident. That's not the norm. That's an exception. And that doesn't represent what's going to happen all the time. And I resent you using this as a scare tactic. Okay, we agree that the Bakari Henderson thing is an isolated incident. It doesn't occur all that often. We also agree that maybe, just maybe, if Bakari Henderson traveled with a group of black folks instead of white folks, and if he was in the Caribbean or Africa, then maybe that situation would have went down differently. But again, we really don't know any of those things because there've been occurrences of black people traveling with other black people and something still happens to them. But in Bakari Henderson's case, he was just hanging around with a bunch of scary ass people who he thought was his friends that didn't lift a pinky for him. So yeah, I mean this. So when I think about this current Miko Worldwide thing, it kind of makes me reflect on Bakari Henderson. Now, that's not to say I'm against traveling, but if you if you are going to travel and if you are a part of this, I think that especially black men, we have to have our third eyes open. We can't just dwell and just go off in an individualistic tangent and think, oh, everything is going to be fine. And that just happened to that brother over there, and that's not going to happen to me. Yeah, I'm aware that some people are lucky and some things don't happen to them. But that doesn't mean that you're above being tested. So I'm just saying, practice awareness. Keep your third eye open. Always keep your guard and remember who you are and where you are and the people around you, especially if you're a black American overseas. I can't really speak for black people that are from abroad, that are from places where I am Mara is from and all their other stuff because they have a different mentality and mindset when it comes to these issues. So I'm speaking for my ADOS, FBA, or whatever you decide to go under. Have your third eye open, brothers, because there's a target on us, whether it be through other people that look like us that have YouTube channels, or whether it be by people that run digital media websites that just purposely get the facts wrong and twist and turn it to fit an agenda and comply with the propaganda mold. So anyway, that is my op-ed on Traveling Brothers, Indifference, and the collective image of black males. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. One love.